Unsolved mysteries are like an unquenched thirst, premonitions of trouble to spur you to keep going. "1,002 years since divine retribution, the end of winter, the Veil of Mercy, foothills of the Milky Mountains."
700 years ago, you and the other Kuros took to the field of Drowsy Deep to prevent a great calamity, the Reaping. Your self-sacrifice should have destroyed all Reapers, once and for all. 9 years ago, you began feeling a growing sense of unease and decided to roam Terminum to find reason. A month ago, you met a temple guard in the town of Gordin. There was something peculiar about him. Feeling a long-forgotten sense of dread, you realized it was an Umbra Reaper in disguise. He noticed you too, but chose not to pursue. He merely winked at you, bowing in jest. The return of the Umbra forewarns of the impending reaping, so you head to the Milky Mountains to find a local seeress. You hope to learn the time and place of the coming reaping and prevent it. When you'd step onto the narrow path, you'd notice several sets of footprints. At the time, you thought that other people seeking the seeress' advice might have anticipated you. But no, they're just robbers looking for an easy target. Exclamation, everybody, and welcome to Ash of Gods Redemption. This game's been out for a little while. It's been out since March 23rd. It's fully released on Steam. It is by Arum Dust and published by Whisper Games. It's currently $24.99 US, and it's got a digital deluxe version that is $34.99. That I assume contains the original soundtrack. I mean, all the DLC that's here, which is original soundtrack, digital art collection, and a donation of beer for the developers. And yes, I'm reading that right off the store page. So this is an RPG, story-based with tactical RPG with a story, and it's got some card collecting mechanics, as we'll get into in a little bit. It's got very, very similar art style to the Banner Saga, and actually kind of plays a little bit like it, except this is more linear than the Banner Saga was. So, at least the part of it that I've played. Now, this is my second attempt at this recording, so I've seen the first, say, hour of the game already. So it's not really going to be new to me. I'm going to try to speed through it a little bit, but there's a lot of dialogue, so you're just going to have to bear with me. Time to act. Blue tiles indicate where your character can move during the current turn. Orange tiles indicate extra moving distance. Your character must spend some energy to move there. Quick skill, quick strike. Enemies standing on pulsating tiles are within reach. It can be attacked using a chosen skill. To select a target, click on the tile it's occupying. Most attacks allow you to damage either the enemy's health or their energy. Select health damage. Your character will close in on the enemy and attack them. Damaging an enemy's energy reduces their options because faster movement and powerful skills require energy to execute. Moreover, if an enemy has 0 energy remaining, double damage will be dealt to health instead of energy. This enemy has a lot of health, but only 5 points of energy. It makes sense to strip him of his remaining energy so that you can deal double damage to health. Click on the enemy with the right mouse button to see a list of skills you can use against them. Select Quick Strike and choose Energy. You can select an enemy to learn more about their abilities. Click on the tile they're standing on with the left mouse button. Now that you've chosen an enemy, you can see a list of their skills in the lower part of the screen. Mouse over them to read their descriptions. So he's got an Axe Hurl and a Berserk, both of which actually cost him some health in order for him to do damage. You can choose to manually walk to your destination before choosing an attack to use. Click on an empty tile with the left mouse button and confirm your action. If you want to use a skill that doesn't require a target, right-click on the tile your active character is standing on. You'll see a golden circle under his feet. You'll see a list of skills which do not require choosing a target first. There's also a skip turn button, which comes in handy if you're unable to act or don't want to. Remember to always finish the turn by using one of your active character's attacks or by clicking the skip turn button. Select skill, circular hit. Use to damage an enemy's energy. Your character will deal damage to all nearby enemy units. Enemy units with no remaining energy will receive double damage to health instead. End the battle. Okay. We shall do these things by hitting him with his energy. This will do double damage. Go. And there was our victory. You are about to knock on the hut's door when it's suddenly flung open. A woman appears on the doorstep. Your heart leaps from your chest. She's the one you'd left behind when you went to fight in the battle for the Drowsy Deep. She is the one you loved, Amma. Lance, what took you so long? Been 702 years. You managed to survive when 12 of our brethren perished. Did you go into hiding? Please, call me Hopper. I'm already used to my new name. I was called Blance when we were together. I wasn't hiding in that battle, you know. I was wounded, pierced by arrows. That's why I didn't complete my task. Yes, I've heard the legend of the 12 brave ones who cast an enchantment on themselves and turned into stone. They achieved their goal. Now their land is free from the plague and the reaping. The price was too high, though, if you ask me. Why'd you come looking for me again? I wasn't searching for you, but the local Cirrus. There are signs. Bestias are leaving the forest of Datura, the Vandal, which has been sighted on woodland trails. I stumbled upon a Traka in Gordin myself. They have returned. Another reaping is nigh, perhaps. That's a foolish question, Hopper. I do not foretell the obvious. You might as well have asked whether winter will follow autumn. Reaping is coming. You know it. All loose ends shall be tied. What do you mean by tied? One day, the final reaping will come. The question is if there will be anything left in this world afterwards. Why would you care, though? Aren't you immortal? I am the same as you, Amma. Even if we are both Umbra, we have long embraced the human way of life, and I care about Terminum's fate. To the reaping, we are no more than specks of dust. This time, we don't have 12 comrades willing to sacrifice themselves. Among those still alive, some will succumb and become reapers themselves. Do you really want to get involved? I need to stop the reapings. My fault they're happening again. You need to get off your pedestal. We are maggots, the lowliest servants lucky enough to be seated at the dining table. Are you looking for the forsaken gods of this land? I have a book that describes the life of one. Here, take a look. I had a good laugh reading this nonsense. Thank you for the book. I've been searching high and low for similar records, but still, when and where will the reaping begin? I need to be there. That's where I need it. I know it. The souls of the dead have tortured me with guilt for 700 years. Help me. Give me the knife you keep in your bag, the kind our brethren sacrificed themselves with. Give it to me, and you'll get your answer. Pity. I had really hoped to use it. I doubt anything else could kill a Reaper. Well, here you go. But why do you want it? The reaping shall occur on the day of the vernal equinox, both in the north and the south, in the towns of Woden and Albius. I wouldn't waste time if I were you. Sadly, I don't have time to reach the north. Farewell. I hope our paths cross again, though you still haven't told me why you need the knife. I saw you kill me with this very knife, Hopper, so I hope our paths never cross again. Farewell.
What does one need to meet old age in peace? Only to avoid a major disaster. Year 1002 since divine retribution. Burkana, the kingdom of Odala, city of Albius. The spring equinox. 8th year of peace since the last war. A retired captain of the guard and his daughter are strolling through the festival market.
This is most bizarre. A woman in strange clothes is walking away from town hall. Her beauty should be turning heads, but I seem to be the only one noticing her. Lita, are you daydreaming again? You nudge your daughter as you see Baron Frobel, the burgomaster of the town, approach you. Good day, Thorn. How are you, Glita? I take it there is a reason you have been combing the market since dawn? Looking for a gift for Leaky? Yes, how did you know? Albius isn't the biggest town around. There aren't too many captains of the Royal Guard here, and even fewer captains' wives. And only one of these wives celebrates her birthday on the day of the spring equinox. Please give her my birthday wishes. I will, Burgomaster, though you are most welcome to stop by and do it in person. The Burgomaster is eager to carry on, but one of the citizens calls his name. Strobel nods to you and tends to his business. Stubborn old man. He seems resilient. I've heard he is a distant relative of the king himself. The distance of their relation may be the secret to his longevity. Well, we got carried away and are no closer to picking a gift for Leaky. What are we going to give her? Will you give me a hint? What would your mother like? In the dialogue window, this icon means that your choice will have far-reaching consequences. Let's give her jewelry. Then we should head to Rask's shop by the town hall. If we need clothing, then we can visit the cloth merchants. Alright, so we can talk to Glita. She wants to say something. And Padagang's stall for textiles and clothing, or we can go to Rask's shop. I guess we could go straight to Rask's shop. Why not? Did Dad find out where I really go during my lunchtime strolls? There's nothing criminal in it, but I'd rather nobody knew of my manuscript hunting. I said I went to the pastry shop, which wasn't exactly true. Hope Rask doesn't give me away. Leda, this is Rask, an old friend and expert in all kinds of curiosities. We've known each other since Oda. Hello, Rask. It's been a while. Been 3 years, my dear Thorn. We've run into each other now and then. But ever since you arrived in town, freshly retired, and bought a silver necklace with a garnet, you've forgotten all about my shop. Are you here to pick up a new gift for Leaky? You guessed right. Will you help me pick something nice? I remembered the last time you bought a birthday present for her, during the spring equinox. I won't lie, I'd have been happy if you'd bought jewelry for me every year since. My wife hasn't been interested in jewels for these past few years. However, the garnet necklace is her favorite, and she has been feeling better in recent months. Is it true that garnets aid a weak heart? If I'm not mistaken, garnets possess no magical properties, but some other stones do. Potions cannot heal an aching heart, but family love can preserve it. I have heard that there is a particularly skilled healer at Ursus. Unda's her name, but even she cannot perform miracles. A lady healer from Ursus? Yes, I've heard rumors. We have been to Ursus and visited the men here or there, but it was all for naught. The healer was not at home at the time. They say she and her daughter could be wandering elsewhere for years. We can't exactly camp on our doorstep, can we? Didn't the men here help you? My wife and I have visited all the menhirs in this kingdom, and in the neighboring ones as well. We talked to the holy fathers of the Temple of Divine Retribution. Leaky's sick heart is not a simple disease. It is an inborn defect, aggravated by the difficult delivery of her second child. The menhirs cannot heal defects, just as they cannot regrow severed hands. Before we mentioned menhirs, we had been discussing other stones. I don't offer anything to anybody without a particular reason. Nevertheless, I have had premonitions these past days. Providence must have brought you to my shop today. You are looking for a gift, and I want you and your family to survive the troubled times to come. Call me superstitious, or even crazy, if you like. I hope that I am mistaken, but unfortunately my premonitions almost always come true, and you, Thorn, will benefit from this Strix. It is very expensive, but you can pay in installments over several years. Rask reaches into a box and places a highly polished stone on the counter. The metal setting is very unusual. It looks like an insect clutching the stone tightly in its legs. If this large Strix reduces in size, the platinum base will squeeze its paws to hold it tightly. Consider it magic if you like. Tell me how it works? I will tell you what the ancient texts say about Strixes. When a common woe comes, death walks among humans and siphons their lifeblood. Yet death finds the Strix sweeter than human life and drains it first. Until the Strix has been completely sucked dry, its wearer has a chance to survive. It gives hope. You can buy hope then. So what's the price? Such rare items do not come cheap. The price for this stone is 100,000 gold coins. Even if you let me pay in installments for 10 years, I still can't afford this. If you only knew how quickly decades go by. I mean, at my age, you can think in decades. In our case, every hour counts, right, Gleda? Do you have any gift ideas? I would consider the Strix. Here's what we'll do. Take the stone, no deposit, no acknowledgement of debt. And I'll take your word, Thorn, for if you lie, I will lose faith in kind people. If you or your family find no use for it in the next year, you'll return it. Agreed? It would be foolish to decline such a generous offer. A Strix it is, even if I have to return it in a year's time. You're behaving oddly today, Rask. You take the Strix from the table and hide it under your shirt. When you look up, Rask is staring at the ceiling, his face pale. At first you are confused, but then you, too, hear the bell ringing in the town hall. This doesn't sound like our bell ringer. Could it be that Grobel has finally sacked his bell ringer and hired someone sober? And you, Rask, doesn't the bell annoy you, ringing 4 times a day? You watch in surprise as Rask takes a big sack and starts emptying the contents of his numerous drawers, big and small, into it. Just a matter of habit, my dear Thorn. Time gets you used to much stranger things. You do not realize how wisely you've chosen your gift. Silver could come in handy, of course, but a Strix will most certainly aid you. And if it does, how many years will I be paying for it? 5? 10? The bell keeps tolling. Rask slings his sack over his shoulder and takes an axe with a curved handle from the wall. It no longer matters. I hope we'll meet again, but now I would flee from the city if I were you. The Opacum Fortress? Opacum Fortress is the safest place to go. The merchant retreats into his shop. You hear the back door open and close. Gleda, it looks like Rask has lost his mind. We should leave. Or he's got the right idea. You see Baron Trobel lying on the ground, dying. Blood gushes from his mouth, nose, ears, and eyes. You are tough. You struggle to stay on your feet. Blood is gushing from your nose. Gleda, scared to death, is hiding behind your back, but rather taciturn. Who are you? No need for you to know. You used the last reserves of your energy to stay upright. Your heart is about to leap out of your chest. Your throat contracts. Dying already? No, I'm going to live a bit longer. Seems the monster is grinning, clenches its fist, and your heart clenches in your chest. A moment later, the unbearable pain lifts. Towering over you, the monster examines you intently for a few seconds, then extends its arm and points at your pendant. The monster grabs your captain's insignia, clenching it in its fist. With a hissing sound, the strix in the pendant shrinks. The reaping will start with your family, Thornbrennan. The monster vanishes into thin air. Shake your head, trying to clear it. Oh, blessed gods. Did you hear what it had said about our family? Quick, we've got to get home. You run headlong to your house, taking every possible shortcut. Even a small town like Albius has its dark corners, but you could not care less. Right now, you need to make sure that everything's all right at Gleda's at home, I guess. Gleda's outcry makes you stop in your tracks. Your daughter hastily pulls some kind of colored plaques from under her belt. That's what's almost burnt my stomach. Rask gave them to me about a week ago. A long time ago, they supposedly were magical battle cards. Suddenly, they became so hot to the touch. All right, take a look at the cards. What are cards in my bag? What are cards in my bag? You know? You've heard about magical cards, but right now you have other things on your mind. You shove the cards into your bag, almost burning your fingers. For a moment, you feel a peculiar sensation, as if the cards were the hilt of a drawn sword glued to your hand. Perhaps you can use them after all. Is it possible that the reaping infused them with power? You hear footsteps coming from somewhere ahead. 3 thugs are barring the way. Their puffy faces are contorted with mindless rage. Did highwaymen get so brazen as to attack townsfolk, hoping for an easy gain? In a swift move, you draw your sword, but the thugs look unimpressed. You look closer and notice their vacant eyes and foam at their mouths. Your opponents are either very drunk or crazy. You step in front of Gleda. I'll beat some sense into them, stay back. In response, Gleda steps aside and draws her own blade. Did I practice with a sword for all those years to just keep hiding behind you? Together, we'll deal with them faster. What your daughter is really asking for is some stern parroting, but the thugs attack you with a feral roar. You can only hope your daughter has taken your lessons to heart. You have more than one character in your party. You can choose the turn order. Just select any character standing on a highlighted tile, choose an action to end their turn. The tile will dim. When all your characters end their turns, a new round will begin, and you'll be able to choose between the available characters again. Click on the icon in the bottom left to use a card. Each card has a number that shows in which round it will become available. Each card can be used only once per battle. After you use a card, it won't be available again until the next battle. Red skulls next to a character portrait indicate the number of wounds the character has sustained. Character stats are lowered depending on the number of wounds. If a character sustains 4 wounds, they die. And keep an eye out for the question mark button. It'll help you with things. Okay. All right, let's get our positioning right. I think we're actually probably positioned fine here. So we're gonna go start our turn. All right, so this guy's got 12 energy. This guy's got 5, and this guy's got 12. So I'm going to be attacking energy, I think. So we're going to click on my guy here first. And we're going to say, if I do a parry, it'll increase my defense by 3. Or I could do fight back, which will give me a counterattack, which might be the way to go to start out here. So we're going to do that. We're going to do it against his energy. Oh, he's gonna walk over here and attack her, huh? Okay. You insist, dude. If you insist. So he has no energy left. So if I damage his... Now see, this heavy strike takes 27 health off of me. Which is crazy damage. In order to do 27 damage to the guy. That's just crazy pants. I need her to have all the health she can get. So I'm going to stick to a regular attack right now. There's also damage split, which will split the damage between my health and energy. So that could help with some of these double strikes and things. And cover. But we're going to do a regular attack on this guy. And we're going to attack his energy because it'll take more of his health out. So I do double damage to his health. I get a counter attack though. There we go. That's the good thing of having that a counter attack. We'll start with her, and we're going to take this guy out. So these other guys have to come up here to come after me. I still have my 7 counter attack going, which is nice. So what do I have as far as cards here? Chaos. Got Cure. Let me put that on him. My health back up. But I still have this counter attack, which means he's still going to keep doing damage to these guys. Go. Alright, so now, because every time you play a card, you end, I mean, that's considered a turn that you've taken. So I can take on this guy, and I'm going to keep my counterattack going. So we're going to do this. We're going to go against his energy or his health. Well, if I go against his health, we'll get down to 11. If I go against his energy, it'll be down to 14. So let's do his health. Yep, that guy's down to 8. Good, alright. So now we'll get her going and have her take care of this fool. Little stabby stab. Every time she takes a guy out. Ooh, he chained her. Every time she takes a guy out, she gains some health back. So that's a nice little perk there. And this guy is going to be quite dead here. Well, almost. It's going to be down to 4. Oh, if he attacks me, he's going to... Oh, no, he's going to attack her. Yep. Okay. Doesn't matter. You're dead one way or the other. Glita looks at the bloodied bodies in terror. This is the first time she has fought to the death. You grab her by the shoulders, shaking her a couple times before she looks away from the corpses. She finally steels herself, meets your gaze, and nods with great determination. You are proud of your daughter, but even more so, worried for your wife, Leaky. There is no time to lose. You need to get home as soon as possible. A couple of side alleys later, you open a familiar gate. 1,000 gold there. And my guy's got a wound, but I guess that wound is from encountering that bad dude. But cool. Alright. You run into the house and find the living room covered in blood. Old Tenor, your housekeeper, stands at the door, trembling all over. His daughter, Kina, your maid, lies motionless on the floor. Just beside her is your wife, Leaky. Tenor, what happened here? Lita is trying to say something but cannot speak through the suffocating sobs. Use all of your willpower to retain composure, even managing to say something, while your nails cut deeply into your palms. The veins in your fists are about to burst and your teeth are about to shatter from grinding. Lita is stroking her mother's hair and whispering something into her ear. You briefly consider ending your own life, but your daughter needs protection. She resembles your wife so strongly. You slowly turn to the servant. He is saying something. Such a calamity has befallen us. Oh, such grief. First, both Leaky and Kina screamed in pain. Then my daughter seemed to lose her mind. She went at Mistress Leaky with a knife. Mistress defended herself, but then... Lita, give me a hand. Take a blanket from the bed and cover Kina's body. I will, in a moment. Oh, the horror, the horror! His Excellency Count Vici and his young son Bran always said it would end this way. Count said many things. Father, this is not the time for old grudges. The monster said that it would start with our family. We must leave this town. You're right, Glita. Pack whatever we need for the journey, quickly. Tenor, saddle the horses. Yes, I'll do it. You move a strand of your wife's hair and notice something odd. A black blue mark, like an ulcer, on the nape of her neck. The surrounding skin is swollen as if burnt. Lita also notices it and backs away, a look of terror on her suddenly pale face. This is right out of the ancient manuscript. The same thing happened 700 years ago. A pain pierces your neck and grows into a fiery noose. It strangles you and you die in terrible agony. This infection is what they called the reaping. Father, the back of my neck is burning. Let me see. Damn it, you have the same mark. Have a look. Do I have it? Nothing? But how could it be? Why did the plague spare me? I don't believe in luck. There must be some kind of protection. But what is it? I hope Rask was right. Come here, Glada. I want you to wear this. You take Rask's pendant out of the bag and put it around your daughter's neck. She nods and you pull her into your embrace again. You exit into the front yard and take a look around. No, you shouldn't bury Leaky here. It'd be better to do it in the back. Lita follows you. Take Tenor and bring the bodies here, you tell her. Try to be quick, our time is short. Just wrap them in something, all right? When you're done digging, your hands are shaking, but not with tiredness. Tenor buries his face in his hands. Lita is a shadow of her former self. You realize that if you stop and stand still, pain will drown you. You get out of the freshly dug grave and pick up Leaky's body. You lay out Kina's body beside her mistress. They used to play together as kids. You take up the shovel. Lita is still petrified. Tenor mumbles one of the temple anthems. You wonder what he is asking the gods to do for his daughter. Aren't his woes all the same to her now? You throw the last handful of earth onto the grave and toss the shovel aside. You feel as if you're you feel as if you are on the edge of a cliff. Your wife is no more. Her body is not in your warm embrace, but in the cold clutches of death. For some reason, you're still alive. Lita walks up and hugs you, pulling you back from the precipice, just like when you met the Reaper. Alright, somebody's banging on our door out here. It's Captain Krieger. He's got Fisk, the guard from the Northern Gate, as well as 4 lads from his regiment with him. What do we do? Let him in before he destroys the gates. Glita, shut the stable doors for now, just in case. Damnation! Quick, bring in the horses! Thorn, is your old servant completely deaf? I bashed my knuckles raw knocking on your bloody gate. Don't you know what's going on in the town? Hey. Pipe down. I do know. Tenor has just lost his daughter, understood? And I've just lost my wife. Curse this damn town. Leaky? Gods, I'm sorry, really sorry. Damn me if I hurt your feelings or something. You'll die like a dog, so don't worry about it. We all will at this rate. What happened to you? When the monster entered the town, everyone went berserk. Have you seen the sign it left on the gate? What do we do now? I wanted to ask the burgomaster, but didn't think I could make it through. Besides, I had the boys with me. Hey there, you pansies. Come here. You all right? Hey. Looks like you didn't even shit your britches. Take care of the horses while we figure something out. Okay, so we got lots of people to talk to. One of the soldiers leads against the shed, his legs seemingly unable to support him. Brett, lounging about. Just coming to my senses, thinking what to do. All you can do is curl up in terror. What can you do against a Reaper? It came after me. You'll see. It knows where I'm hiding, and it will find me again. Came after all of us, knucklehead. Do you think you're special or something? If, God forbid, it comes back, it'll be for all of our heads. Thorn, we need to leave now. We can't run or hide. Death is in the air. Listen to me, boy. Don't ever let your fear wag your tongue for you. Curb it. You want to die? Do it. Don't drag others into it. Oh, we're already losing loyalty with people. Cool. Galita is packing for the journey. Galita loads up her horse, weeping over to attack. Oh, mother dear, how are we going to live without you? She whispers. You put your arms around your daughter as she presses her tear-streaked face into your chest. It's over for Leaky, my dear, but for you and Macht, it's not. Remember this, however much it hurts. Who the hell is Macht? Lita nods and tries to steel herself. No longer crying, she starts strapping the saddlebags. It's not over for you either, Father, no matter what you think. I am almost ready. I only need to strap this package of Rask's scrolls. Maybe I'll have a chance to return them. It pains you to look at your daughter, whose every gesture reminds you of your wife. You clench your teeth and carry on. There is no time to lose. Help Galita fasten the package. Galita buries her face in your shoulder. Thank you. Mother is dead. We've got to run from the reaping, and I am still fussing with this package. Tenor is taking his time. It would be a good idea to check on them. You enter the house and see that Tenor has packed your things, but is not in a rush to leave. What's keeping you, Tenor? Tenor makes a helpless gesture. Forgive me, Master Brennan, but I am not coming. I must remain by my daughter's side. I will look after the house for as long as I live. All right, well, tell him he's been an excellent servant. Tenor's expression softens. You have been a model husband for Mistress Leaky, no matter what her father, Count Vici, said. All right. Stable. Young soldiers from the Albius Regiment are tending to the horses. Hey, Sop! Quit trailing Hode like a puppy. Go tighten the straps on your horse. Oh, you remembered me. Get this nanny away from me. At this rate, he'll soon be holding my member while I take a leak. Let him look after Galita. Why not? But Hode, aren't we buddies? Don't you see what's happening in Albius? Don't drag Galita into this. I worry about you. Go on, right out of here. I need you like I need a hole in the head. You want to look after me, do it from far away. That's what distress does to men. You look as stiff as a dick in a bathhouse, Sop. Don't worry, he'll cool off and you'll be best buddies again. Thorn, what else did you want to ask the lad? Why are you staring at the gate? Well, I mean, it's a really nice sturdy gate. We could just stay here and wait for this mess to clear up. Let's not ford Shit Creek. We're already knee-high in it, Sop. Who do you think this gate's going to stop? That monster? Or maybe the plague? What's next? Crawling under a blanket? What help? I want to do the right thing. What if those madmen come to their senses? Then it's all hunky-dory. How are you holding up? I am trying my best. My knees are shaking. I don't like this one bit. I'd rather have a war. War doesn't keep men waiting. You'll find that your knees shake less when you're marching. Go and see what happens. And point us in the right direction. All I hear is talk. You're our superior, aren't you? I don't know. This is the point where it's like some writers do this, and it bothers me. From the perspective of characterization, right? It's like, I get that it makes good sense to have a cohesive story if you write the story from the end to the beginning. And you can always tell when someone's done that because they have this tendency, almost always tell, they have this tendency to introduce characters all at once because these characters have to get established and they're going to make some kind of sense later on in the story, and it's better to just do it now while there's a break in the action. And this always pains me to go through because it's like, I can't keep this many people in my head. I don't, we're getting a little bits and pieces of their attitude, which I still haven't quite figured out who's talking to whom at this point, because they all kind of are blending in right now, and it's just too much at once. I feel like we're doing good with just like 3 characters. We introduced one character who's like, oh, he's been there, done that. He's going to come, we're going to run into him along the road at some point. We've got 2 more characters now that we've actually built up a little bit. Now suddenly they've thrown like, what, 5, 6? I don't know how many people are talking right now into it, and I care for none of them, nor can I actually give any damn for any of them because I can't follow the dialogue as it's going back and forth. It's like, it's one of those things where just like pace yourself, like if you're going to write something, like make their entry into the story meaningful, 1, and 2, make it so that it's a normal schlup like myself can actually keep up with who's talking to whom and who's the newbie on the block and what's going on here, because they just introduced other characters that aren't on screen, like the Count Vici and all that stuff. And I'm kind of getting little bits and pieces of story there, and I'm interested in that story, but then they've thrown all this other crap in the fire now, and I can't figure out who's doing what and everything else. So this is one of those. It's just one of those little pet peeves I have. Why the sour look? Should I sing and dance? This is no fort. We must move to Ursus. The walls are higher, and the Juranan army is nearby. The king himself is there, and more food. All you care about is stuff in your face. If the entire Juranan army loses its marbles like the Albius guards, Ursus will be good for nothing. Well, I mean, the madness hasn't afflicted us, so there must be someone sane in Ursus. Let them deal with this craziness. Alright, enough talk. Look at Sop rambling. Usually he is too busy chewing. He probably thought we'd be hiding in a tavern. If you could hide from this horror in a tavern, I'd be there already. Krieger, do something. We didn't join Thorn Brennan's company by accident, did we? I mean no disrespect, Captain. Respect my decisions then. First, we need to get out of town and ride to the nearest menhir to get rid of the plague. We'll see where we go from there. Well, his loyalty increased anyway. Yeah, let's gather by the gates. Forget about trouble, Krieger. The burgomaster is dead. We're sailing up Shit Creek. What do we do now? Wash the shit stains and run. What is this sign on the gates? How should I know? I was standing guard by the northern gate with Fisk. May the gods punish him with sobriety. Suddenly a monster appeared. I heard of this creature. Temple records refer to them as the Reapers, for they come during the reaping. Great name. They don't always look like monsters. Sometimes they appear almost human. They call themselves the Umbra, but there's only a passing mention of them in the chronicles. I haven't the foggiest idea what that was, and frankly, I don't give a crap. I just know what I saw. 'Twas so scary you'd shit your britches. Many did, in fact. All of them fell to the ground, at least. The monster drew some kind of mark on the gate and let out a screech. The Reaper said that the gate was sealed and that everyone should prepare to die. It said so in the temple tongue, and then in Frisian. Will you shut up, wise arse? You've been going on and on. What are you planning to do? Talk your foes to death on the battlefield? You snotty brats? Who is talking to whom? Have I ever given anyone a reason to call me a coward? Hush, Flit, Krieger, let it go. Krieger, let it go. Hold your horses, you two. Flit, please calm down. How come you know so many languages? Just had to learn them. Many archival records exist only in Frisian or in a temple tongue. Being knowledgeable is always useful. As for courage, you either have it or you don't. You won't know it until you need it. Check the backs of everyone's necks. The plague leaves a distinctive mark. I figured that one out already. None of my lads have marks. I personally checked. The townsfolk have been clutching their necks in pain, though. The gods spared us from this plight. Without them, we'd be squirming on the ground. We should be grateful. You invoke the gods, but they have nothing to do with it. Confound them. Well, we've got Strixes to help us. What do you have, Fisk? What do you mean? I have a spear and my armor, though I admit they aren't the best. Perhaps I'm not making myself clear? Bit slow on the uptake, aren't you? I'll say it again, slowly. Strixes protect you from the plague. Krieger and I have our captain's insignia with Strixes. These lads have earrings with flecks of the stone. Where is your Strix? I've got a small one in this pin. Used to be my mother's. I've kept it in her memory, but I don't wear it. So she protects you even after her death. Pray to your dead mother, Fisk, rather than to the gods. You said something about going berserk, Krieger? Well, you see, the monster just etched a sign on the gate and vanished. Then the bell started ringing and it all went topsy-turvy. People got to their feet and began to beat the living daylights out of each other. Some skedaddled, others took up arms. Some folks just used bare hands. Me and Fisk ran for it, but that didn't go well. Even the people we knew were lunging at us like furious beasts. We wanted to avoid killing them, of course, but the way things were, we fought our way to the stables and found these lads. I see, it's starting to make sense. The plague leaves a mark, which makes you go berserk, but doesn't always work. Perhaps some possesses the inner strength to resist, or maybe Strixes have got something to do with it. The mark's not a death sentence then. If you resist it, things are looking up, boys. Something to drink to. It's time to get out of town. Get on your mounts. Damn, I almost forgot. The people didn't go mad immediately after the monster left its sign on the gate. First, a merchant rode through the square in a flying gallop. The miracle he didn't trample anyone. He pulled the control lever, slid something between the gates, opened them up, and off he went. All by himself, and here I thought he was good-for-nothing wuss. Surely you know him. Short beard, always smiling, shop near the town hall. A good drinking buddy, if you ask me. Rask? So he managed to get out of town. The gate's still open then. No, the people were going berserk already. Some of the guards went after this Rask fellow, by the way, and the gate slammed shut as nobody held it open. So it is possible to open the gate after all. Gather everyone, Krieger, and let's go. We need to get out of town. Tenor, sure you don't want to change your mind? I am too old to change my mind, master. May the gods grant you a smooth road. Farewell. As you wish. Everyone follow me and Krieger. Tenor, open the gates. You stop in a square near the gates, dismount and peek around the corner. The ground before the gate is littered with corpses. Beside them, guards shuffle about, scratching their necks and growling now and then. They have weapons at the ready. The incessant ringing of the bell makes you squirm as you examine the gate. There's some kind of glowing mark on it. The square is full of abandoned carts, baskets, and crates, and corpses. There is no way you can ride through on horseback. Your company waits for your decision. Do you realize what is going on? Why are these madmen so organized? Could it be that they serve the Reaper now and are bound by his will? Ancient manuscripts don't mention anything about it. However, they do say that each reaping is different. The Reaper could have invented something new. Rask had mentioned something like this too. You discussed the reaping with Rask? Sometimes. You don't know history if you don't know the reapings. They direct its course, even if they only happen twice. Who knew it would come back? In the absence of other explanations, we'll have to go with this one. Alright, so let's just... enough thinking. Time for action. We can't attack their ranks directly, so we'll have to split up. Some of you will join the fight, but others will have to get around the fight and reach the gates. Why would we split? It's much better to stay together. What if these crazies get reinforcements while we're busy fighting? I don't care about winning, I just want to get out of this alive. How do we open the gate? It's sealed by the sign. If Rask manages somehow, then so can we. On your guard, you there, follow me. The rest to the gates. Alright, now we get to choose our party. So we've already got Kalita with us, and I'm going to take Krieger because he's got a lot of health. And Hode is an assassin, huh? Split the archer, yeah. Archer's good. Stop's a warrior, he's got a lot of health. And Fisk is a spearman. And another archer. Let's get another archer. Let's take the two archers with us. Alright, and here's our cards that we're going to deal with. We don't have any other things to use, so let's fight. Alright, let's get our archers in the back here. they can be useful. Him over... Well, actually, you can stay there. You're going to move over this way. You're going to move this way just to be slightly more protected. And you're going to stay there. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's get a little bit of a move up here. So he's got 15, 9, 15, and 12. So can I hit this guy with my archer before he even gets into range? I can do 7 damage, or I can do 18 damage, which will take 14 health off of him. So I don't know if I want to do that right now. Let's try the 7 damage, and let's do it against his energy. Go. Okay, and you probably just take out that one guy. I might as well just focus their fire on this one guy here. I'll get him down to 13. Jeez, how far up do you have to move just to shoot the guy? What kind of archer are you? You gotta be up in the front of the line here. Alright, can I take this guy out? So apparently he's my guy is now blocking him, so that's fun. Let's see if I can come around here, and then I can attack this person. Now I don't think there's positioning of anything does anything. I don't know if backstabbing or anything like that does anything. Onslaught, the Furious Strike, and then Retaliation increases your counterattack by 6. Does not end turn. Takes 2 energy. Let's do that on ourselves. At the... And then we'll do Fury Strike on this guy. 25, 23. Because he's got 4 armor. I see what's going on there. Let's take out his energy. I want to get my 6 counterattack. There we go. Alright, can I get Glita into a position where she can actually hurt this guy? No? Alright, well then let's come over here and hurt this guy then. Do the regular attack. And I guess we'll attack the energy. What else do I have here? Damage, split, cover. Okay. Attack his energy. Guy's gonna come up to me and ask me a question. And I'm going to attack his energy there. So 6 deals 9 damage, but takes 6 health off of me, but that's probably okay. 6, 9 damage. What's this here? Counterattack. I'm not going to do that yet. Let's just do the regular. Do this. Yeah, onslaught. And we'll do it that way. Just get this guy. Yeah, we did some damage to him. And now I got this guy to attack with still. So that's good. Parry, deals 7 damage and increases your defense by 3, or do fight back. Let's do the fight back. And we'll do it against his energy. feeling he was going to attack Lita because she's not going to fight back there. Let's see. Can I do a... I do a double strike, which takes 14 health out of her. Just quite the significant chunk, but I can kind of keep her... can I keep her protected? Nah, let's do our regular strike here. Yeah, having that 6 counterattack really is nice. It sure is nice. See if I can shoot this guy in the face here. With our... Yeah, what does this do? Dodge. Headshot, 14 health. Alright, we'll just do the regular shot against this guy. Or I could do it against that guy and kill him outright. Guy's only going to go to 22. Let's do it against this guy, I think. I can actually click on him. There we go. Do that. Okay, very good. Alright, now, my archer who is like point blank range can do like 6 damage if I just attack him. Even if I shoot him, I'll do 6 damage. Alright, well, let's do the attack then, and I guess we'll take his energy out so we do double damage here, because we still have this other guy to fight with. Okay. Can I... Defense by 3, retaliation. If I do another onslaught on this guy, bring back 2 tiles, deal 6 damage with a Fury Strike. We'll do retaliation, because that does not end my turn. And then we'll do... do this first. And then we'll do Furious Strike. And down to 7. Alright, now... It's getting a little bit crowded over here, I'd say. Let's see if I can even the odds a bit. Furious Strike on this guy, or 11, 13. I do Onslaught. 9, 7. Yeah, that's not particularly good. Let me increase my defense first. And then we'll just do the regular strike on this guy. Alright, who else has a turn here? Oh, this guy does. So, if I could get him up here, I could do like his whirly gig thing to knock back the 12 damage to all surrounding enemies. Try parry. They're all ganging up on my guy in the middle here. What cards do we have? Spirit armor. Let's get Cure here on this guy. I said let's get Cure on this guy. There it is. Alright. First things first. Let's take this guy out. Busting shot, no. Let's do the regular attack here. Take him down a notch. This guy should be almost dead. Oh, or completely dead. Excellent. I can move him up here to attack this guy if I could get access to him, but I don't have a way of doing that. So we're going to move you over here, I think, for the moment. And defense on... Can I cast defense on my ally here? I guess not. I guess not. You need to come up here and do your thing. Actually, you know what? You go... Well, no, I don't want you in front. I want you in front. So you come up and wreck this guy's face for me, if you would. Okay, why are you not... Huh. Why are you not, I can't move him for some reason? That's weird. What's going on there? Can I move her? No, what? Oh, this guy's still active. I forgot. Okay. Just, where he doesn't have anything that he can do. I have to end his turn. That's what it is. I'm like, what is going on here? Okay, and so now I can move you up and have you take this guy out. Can we do something about all this nonsense? So I can get power attacked by 8. Let's do that. And onslaught. Deals 12 damage and stuns target, pushes back an enemy unit by 2 tiles. Or fury strike. I don't want to do onslaught because we're already kind of low on health there. Let's just... This guy's going to die one way or the other. Doesn't really matter. Oh, and this guy's going to die now too. Yep, that is why counterattacks are fantastic. And I'm just going to move her back here to kind of lick her wounds a little bit. And have her end her turn. Oops, 0 damage, but I'm going to do 8 to you. Yep, that's a thing. You picked the wrong fights, dude. So exhausting shot deals 16 damage. Let's do that, because that will kill this guy straight out. Good night. When the fight is over, you notice more guards with their weapons drawn in a nearby alley. You run to the gate. Why isn't it open yet? You want to go through this again? Krieger kicks the sealed gate in fury. Shit! Bloody Rask did it somehow. Think quickly, what could we use? Lita suddenly remembers. Rask swiped something along the slit between the gates. Do you recall what he said? Silver could come in handy. We have Mom's necklace in one of the bags. You pull a piece of silver jewelry out of the bag and toss it to Krieger. He shrugs and slides it along the slit. Reaper's mark fades away and the gate creaks open. Krieger laughs hysterically. Well, I'll be damned. Silver worked. Pull the lever now. Pull the lever. What are these guys, vampires? Is that why silver works? You and your company rush into the open. As soon as you close the gate behind you, the Reaper's sign, invisible to you from the outside, reseals them with a hissing sound. Soon enough, fists begin pounding from the inside. The bell still tolls over Albius. You look at your companions. I must save my daughter. And you, since you've joined me, at least those of you who wish to carry on, will try to make it to the nearest men here. It might help us. Let's go. Got a golden earring for that. All right. You look at the road leading west. There are hoof prints and even dry drops of blood in the dust. You conclude, it looks like Rask's pursuers went that way. Krieger, do you think we should try and catch up with him? There's more to that old man than the eye can see. In fact, I have a hunch he knows more about the reaping than anyone else. Krieger scratches his head. I can believe that. I saw him open the sealed gates. He definitely knows something. We can still catch up with him, but this road doesn't take you straight to the men here. Rask's got a head start, but his horse is no prize. We can go after him, but we'll lose an entire day, if not more. You start having doubts, and we may lose him. He's still got those nutty guards on his tail. They could have fished him off already. I have to make a decision now. Alright, and the game starts to open up here. And it looks like 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 1. I guess these are the difficulty. 1 and 1 and 2 maybe? Could be. And then the number of strixes underneath that you have to spend, because apparently that's the only thing keeping you from getting the plague and dying. The healing power of the Sacred Stone is the only hope for saving your daughter. You must travel to the nearest men here. Yeah, I think that's the only thing keeping you alive is the strixes. So that's your, instead of food, like it would be in Banner Saga, this is now, you know, you're paying in these little strixes things. Also, this says the Reaping 2. I think that is the difficulty. You can come into difficulty and you can say, yeah, the power of the Reaping 2. This will increase as you go, but you can also then decrease it with the mode that I'm in. There's also an Iron Man mode where you can't decrease the difficulty at all. It'll just continue to increase, and then you just deal with what you deal with. So, and then there's also a story mode. I'm doing like the normal classic mode. There's also a story mode where everything's much easier on you. So if you're just interested in the story, then that's where you go. But I'm going to stop here so I don't spoil any more of the story for anybody, and you can kind of go and take a look if you want to take a look at the rest of the game or not. I may or may not come back to it. I have a feeling this will be one of those lower down on the list that I would come back and revisit, because the story is decent, but it's not really, hasn't really gripped me too much. I like the tactics and stuff, but they work, but just like the Banner Saga, like it gets to a kind of point where it's just kind of very slow, and it feels like it's getting to a slow point where it's just kind of going to grind along now for a little bit. But that's just my opinion on it. This, my friends, has been Ash of the Gods Redemption. Let's see if I can get back to the main menu here. This has been Ash of Gods Redemption. It is fully released out on Steam, and it's by Aram Dust and published by Whisper Games. It's currently $24.99 US. There's a digital deluxe version that has all the DLC, I assume, which is the digital art collection and the original soundtrack. I assume that's what comes in the digital deluxe. And that is $34.99 US. As always, I will leave links down in the description so you can do your own due diligence. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.